chosen one. Heaven has already made it clear. God has spoken. Judgment is rolling over the wicked and their cult, and you cannot be stopped now. The network thought you would stay asleep, compliant, manageable. You didn't. You saw the rituals, the coordinated betrayals, the quiet monitoring, the energy siphoning attempts meant to cage your destiny. Judgment isn't chasing you. It's passing through them. You keep rising, untouched, focused, unstoppable. This chapter ends with exposure, consequence, and your continued elevation beyond reach. Power stands confirmed, sealed, witnessed, final, eternal. The practitioner came back shaken. The practitioner refused to continue. The practitioner demanded triple payment just for the attempt. The root worker returned with a warning that made the cult leader's blood run cold. The report said you're not what was expected. You're a spiritual leader carrying ancestral protection that predates the entire operation. You're covered by archangels. You have DNA sequences that make you immune to attacks. You're operating with divine authority that outranks the entire cult combined. But here's the part that's about to become critical. The practitioner said one more thing. The practitioner gave one warning that should have been heeded. The warning was clear: touch this person again, and catastrophic consequences will fall on everyone involved. These won't be symbolic consequences. This won't be karmic debt to be paid later. This will be immediate. This will be physical. This will be devastating judgment. The cult leader laughed. Arrogance that deep doesn't listen to warnings. So the decision was made to double down. More rituals were performed. Sex ceremonies under blood moons were conducted. More people were recruited. Your ex fed them intimate details about your routines. A family member tracked your movements. Friends gathered intelligence. This was organized warfare. This was a full operation with one target, you. But every attack became a boomerang. Every curse became a cage for the sender. Every ritual bound the practitioner tighter. And now people are dropping like flies. Heart attacks are striking. Car wrecks are happening. Mysterious illnesses that doctors can't explain are manifesting. And it's only the beginning, because judgment isn't coming. Judgment is here. And you're about to understand why it's so precise, so targeted, so absolutely devastating to everyone who touched you. There's a spiritual law coded into the fabric of reality itself. When wickedness targets righteousness, the universe doesn't just defend, it reverses, it redirects, it amplifies. Every curse you send becomes your cage. Every poison you prepare becomes your meal. Every trap you set becomes your prison. This isn't karma taking years to balance. This is instant, automatic, precise as a guided missile locked onto its target. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to know names. You don't have to perform counter rituals. Your DNA does the work. You healed from poison that would kill anyone else. Remember that mysterious illness that doctors couldn't explain. Remember how you recovered when medical professionals said you wouldn't. That wasn't luck. That was your cellular structure operating on frequencies beyond their access. You're built different, literally. Your spiritual immune system turns curses into blessings before contact is even made. While you were healing, something else was happening. The poisoners started experiencing poisoning in their own bodies. Strange symptoms began appearing. Unexplained pain took hold. Medical mysteries that no doctor could solve emerged. The ones who tried to cause car accidents for you are in catastrophic wrecks now. The ones who performed soul-binding rituals are trapped now. They're trapped in consequences that cannot be escaped. And this is just the surface level of what's coming. You want to know why nothing worked? You want to know why every practitioner came back defeated? Let me show you what's written in your spiritual DNA. You were born into a lineage of shamans. These were ancient ancestors who walked between worlds. Your grandmother who passed over didn't die. Your grandmother repositioned. Your grandmother is fighting for you from the other side right now. You carry wisdom that connects to knowledge older than the entire cult. You have intelligence that transcends dimensions beyond perception. You're connected to ancestral codes that predate recorded history. And here's what wasn't anticipated. You have archangels assigned to your mission. They're not just watching, they're actively engaged. Michael stands with sword already drawn. Gabriel delivers messages that cannot be intercepted. When soul binding was attempted on you, the attempt was made on someone protected since childhood. The attempt was made on someone being guided by divine assignment coded into existence itself. The protection you felt even when you felt abandoned was real. The backup you sensed even when everyone betrayed you was there. It was operating, it was functional, it was unstoppable. But some of your own family was part of this conspiracy. Blood relatives joined the cult. Maybe they were part of secret societies. These are groups that required family sacrifice for advancement. Attempts were made to dedicate you to systems before you were even born. Agreements were made in spiritual realms to claim your destiny, but something in you rejected the programming. Something in you said no. That wasn't rebellion. That was your spirit recognizing its true home, and that choice just saved your entire bloodline from what's about to happen. If this message activated your knowing, hype this video to connect with more chosen ones on this journey. Your spiritual immune system functions like nothing encountered before. When curses were sent, your DNA didn't just block them, it analyzed them, studied them, then sent back modified versions calibrated specifically to the sender's weaknesses. With this is why the manifestation of consequences is so precise. The practitioner who tried to bind your feet so you couldn't walk in your calling is now experiencing inexplicable leg problems. The one who tried to cloud your mind is now battling mental fog that won't lift. The one who tried to steal your voice is now losing platform and influence. Each attack became a customized boomerang designed to hit exactly where it would do maximum damage. You've probably noticed strange patterns in your life, times when you should have gotten sick but didn't, moments when danger was close but somehow you were moved out of the way, instances when you made decisions that saved you from disasters you didn't even know were coming. That wasn't luck, that was your protection system operating on autopilot. Your ancestors embedded fail-safes into your bloodline. Your grandmother saw what was coming and fortified the gates. Every generation fought battles to keep this lineage pure, and now you're reaping the benefits of sacrifices made while watching enemies reap consequences of attacks sent. You can't be studied. The mechanism of how your protection works can't be figured out. Attempts were made. People were sent to get close to you, to observe your patterns, to find weaknesses in your spiritual armor. Every single observer either got convicted and left the organization or got hit with the same boomerang effect. Because you're not just protected from attacks, you're protected from infiltration. Watch this pattern because it's about to become obvious to everyone around you. The more you step into your power, the more power drains from the opposition. It's like a seesaw in the spirit realm. Your ascension is their descension. Your light exposes their darkness. Your blessing reveals their curse. This isn't coincidence. This is spiritual physics. Light and darkness can't occupy the same space. When light increases, darkness retreats. When righteousness rises, wickedness falls. And right now you're ascending faster than you've ever moved in your life. You transformed from someone manipulation seemed possible on into a spiritual powerhouse beyond approach, into a leader operating with authority that threatens the entire operation. So now scrambling is happening. Some want out. Attempts are being made to abandon the plan, packing bags in the middle of the night, making plans to relocate, changing numbers, deleting accounts. The belief exists that running to another city will provide safety, that distance will protect from what's coming. There's no geographic cure for spiritual consequences. Divine judgment has coordinates. Angels track movements. The catastrophic damage is activated when someone anointed by the Most High was touched. Don't stop at city limits. Don't respect state lines. Follow, hunt, execute with perfect precision. And the more you rise, the harder the fall happens. This acceleration is just beginning. Chosen one, judgment isn't falling just because you were attacked. Judgment is falling because of who was attacked. The target wasn't a random person. The target was someone marked before birth, someone carrying assignment, someone heaven invested generations of preparation into positioning for this exact moment. Your entire bloodline has been building toward you. Your ancestors fought battles you'll never know about to keep this lineage pure. Your grandmother sacrificed to protect gifts attempted to be stolen. This isn't just about you surviving attacks. This is about protecting a divine investment centuries in the making. When soul binding was attempted, something was triggered that wasn't known to exist. A covenant, a blood seal, a divine contract signed before your first breath. And here's what that contract says. Anyone who touches this vessel faces immediate judgment, not eventual, not after death. Immediate manifestation of consequences in the physical realm. This is why people are dropping like flies right now, why heart attacks are hitting people in their prime, why car wrecks are happening to drivers who've never had accidents, why mysterious illnesses are appearing overnight. This isn't bad luck, this isn't karma, this is breach of contract with heaven itself, and the penalty clause is being executed with precision, never imagined possible. Remember when you tried to warn people. Remember when you said something felt wrong. Remember when you sensed darkness operating behind smiles and family gatherings. The response was that you were paranoid, too sensitive, too spiritual, too intense. Instructions were given to relax, to stop being so judgmental, to give people the benefit of the doubt. But you were right. Every premonition is manifesting exactly as you saw it. Every dream is coming to pass in the physical realm. Every warning you felt in your spirit is being confirmed right now. Your intuition wasn't exaggeration. You were tapped into divine intelligence showing you truth before evidence appeared in the natural. You saw the masks before removal. You felt the energy before the actions manifested. You knew betrayal was coming before the first lie was spoken. This wasn't paranoia. This was supernatural discernment operating through your spiritual senses. This was your early warning system alerting you to danger before full manifestation. And now those same people who mocked your awareness are experiencing unexplainable attacks themselves. Now desperation for spiritual solutions exists. Now begging for mercy from the God who was ignored when you tried to warn is happening. The validation is sweet, but it's not just about being right. It's about what being right means. It means you carry abilities most people never develop. It means you see dimensions others remain blind to. It means you're operating on frequencies that make you dangerous to every system built on deception. Your spiritual sensitivity isn't a weakness like you were told. It's your greatest strategic advantage. While others walk into traps blindly, you sense the setup before arrival. While others trust people at face value, you read energy signatures that reveal true intentions. While others need physical evidence to believe something's wrong, you already knew and moved accordingly. This is why you've survived situations that destroyed others. This is why you escaped entanglements that ensnared people with more experience. Or this is why you avoided partnerships that looked profitable but would have bankrupted your soul. Your sensitivity was saving you before you even understood what you were being saved from. And now that you understand the value of what you carry, watch how it accelerates your assignments. You'll receive invitations and instantly sense whether opportunity is genuine or trap is being set. You'll hear pitches that sound amazing, and your spirit will flag the hidden agenda before contracts are signed. This level of discernment makes you unstoppable in the season you're entering, because the realm you're moving into is filled with sophisticated deception. Wolves in sheep's clothing, darkness masquerading as light, demonic assignments packaged as divine opportunities. But you won't be fooled. Your spiritual radar is too refined. Your gift of discernment is too sharp. Your connection to divine intelligence is too strong. The cult feared this about you more than they feared your power, because power without discernment can be manipulated, strength without wisdom can be redirected, anointing without sensitivity can be exploited. But you have the complete package. You have power backed by discernment. You have strength guided by wisdom. You have anointing protected by supernatural sensitivity. This makes you the most dangerous type of warrior to face, because you can't be tricked, you can't be seduced, you can't be compromised. You see through illusions, you detect counterfeits, you recognize spiritual setups before the trap is sprung, and this ability will save not just you but everyone connected to your assignment. People are going to start seeking you out for counsel. Leaders are going to want your input on major decisions. Organizations are going to request your discernment on partnerships and directions, because word is spreading in both realms that you carry something rare, that you see what others miss, that your gift of perception operates at levels most believers never access. Don't downplay this gift anymore. Don't apologize for sensing things others don't feel. Don't question yourself when your spirit raises red flags that logic can't explain. You've been proven right too many times to doubt yourself now. Your track record speaks for itself. Your accuracy rate is undeniable. Trust what you're sensing, honor what you're feeling, act on what your spirit is revealing, because this gift is about to open doors you never imagined walking through. You're entering a phase now where your vindication becomes public, not because you need validation from people who doubted you, but because heaven is making a statement. God is demonstrating through your life that righteousness still matters, that truth still prevails, that one person standing in integrity can outlast entire organizations built on corruption. Watch how this unfolds. People who witnessed the attacks against you are about to see the defense. Those who watched you struggle in silence are about to watch you triumph loudly. The ones who saw your tears are about to see your testimonies, and denial won't be possible because the contrast will be too stark to ignore. Your enemies are collapsing while you're expanding. Resources are drying up on one side while multiplying on yours. Health is failing there while strengthening here. Relationships are fracturing there while being restored for you. This isn't coincidence. This is divine orchestration creating undeniable proof that touching you was a mistake. You're not gloating. You're not celebrating downfall with arrogance. You're walking in a soberness that comes from understanding spiritual warfare at the highest levels. You recognize that what's happening is serious, that judgment falling is not a light thing, that consequences manifesting in real time is evidence of how seriously heaven takes attacks against the anointed. This maturity in your response actually amplifies your authority, because people see you're not operating from petty revenge, you're not motivated by human vindictiveness, you're simply standing in truth while justice takes its course. And that kind of clean-handed righteousness carries a weight that manipulation can never achieve. Do you feel it? The shift in the atmosphere, the dividing line becoming visible. This is the great separation Scripture talked about. The wheat is being divided from the weeds. The righteous are being set apart from the wicked in ways that can't be hidden anymore. If something in your spirit is resonating with this frequency, you're on the right side of that line. You're wheat, you're righteous, not because you're perfect, but because you chose light when darkness was easier. You're about to shine like the sun, while those who attacked you get consumed by the fire they created. But it's not just spiritual consequences being faced. Legal trouble is manifesting. Police got involved. Somebody got caught. Evidence of crimes against humanity is surfacing. Those words kept coming through specifically. Crimes against humanity. This goes beyond personal attacks. This touches missing persons. This involves financial fraud. These are things that carry serious prison time. This cult operated with impunity so long that invincibility was assumed. The assumption was that wealth would protect. The belief was that positions would shield. The trust was that connections would keep secrets buried. But God is orchestrating exposure on a scale never imagined. Witnesses are finding courage previously absent. Technology is capturing what was hidden. Evidence is being gathered that will shake the world. And you, chosen one, you're protected through all of it. Covered while revelation unfolds, standing in authority while kingdoms collapse. Because you're not just surviving, you're the catalyst that triggered this entire divine intervention. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something. But talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. You put on the headphones, press play and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Now you need to brace yourself for what's about to be revealed. This cult wasn't just performing rituals on adults. Involvement existed in things that make angels weep. They were using innocence to fuel power. They were harvesting pure energy from those who can't defend themselves. They were targeting children. This is why the fire coming burns with a heat that has no mercy. When heaven moves to protect children, there's a ferocity to the judgment that exceeds everything else. Attacking adults who can fight back brings consequences, but harming children, exploiting innocence, using purity as sacrifice for wicked ambitions, activates a level of divine rage that operates without restraint. This is why the phrase crimes against humanity kept coming through so clearly. Part of your assignment is standing in the gap for these little ones, not necessarily through physical rescue, though some will be called to that, but through speaking about what operates in darkness, so hiding becomes impossible, through prayer that breaks chains you can't see, through awareness that creates accountability in spiritual realms that translates to consequences in physical reality. This is why silencing you was attempted so desperately, because you're not just a spiritual leader, you're a voice that exposes operations needing to be kept hidden. Every time you speak truth, light shines in places that must stay dark for plans to work. Every time you refuse to be quiet, you embolden others to speak. Every time you stand firm despite opposition, you create permission for others to trust what they're sensing. You're not just surviving, you're dismantling entire systems through your refusal to be consumed. You need to understand the mechanism of exposure operating right now. Light doesn't expose darkness through force. It exposes darkness simply by existing in the same space. Your presence alone is causing secrets to surface. Your continued blessing is making deception visible. Your sustained joy in the middle of attacks is highlighting how empty opposition's power actually is. This is why being around you has become intolerable for some, why family members who were part of it suddenly avoid gatherings where you'll be, why former friends make excuses not to meet up, why colleagues who were involved find reasons to transfer departments. It's not personal rejection, it's spiritual intolerance. Darkness can't coexist with light without being exposed, and the exposure is happening in layers. First, spiritual bankruptcy becomes obvious. People start noticing form exists but no power backs it. They see rituals but no results. They witness ceremony but no genuine transformation. Second, moral compromise surfaces. Hidden affairs get revealed. Financial impropriety gets discovered. Abuse behind closed doors gets reported. Third, criminal activity gets caught. Missing funds get traced. Falsified documents get found. Testimony of victims gets heard. This is systematic dismantling. Every layer of deception is being peeled back. Every level of corruption is being brought to light. And you didn't have to do anything except keep walking in truth, while others kept walking in lies. After every attack failed, after every ritual backfired, after watching people drop one by one, recognition finally came of what was being dealt with. Power operating on levels unreachable through existing methods, so destruction became recruitment. If your power couldn't be stolen, maybe it could be harnessed by bringing you in. Someone charming was sent, someone who seemed to understand you, someone offering opportunities that looked attractive on the surface, initiation into inner circles, access to networks, wealth beyond imagination. It was probably called awakening. It was probably framed as you finally stepping into true potential, but you saw through it immediately. Because you already have the real thing. Why would you trade divine anointing for demonic agreements? Why would you exchange heaven's backing for hell's counterfeit? Your rejection of the offer was another nail in the coffin, because it proved something that terrified them to the core. Methods have no power over someone truly walking with God. All rituals produce nothing but judgment on practitioners' own heads. All ceremonies create nothing but consequences for participants. All sacrifices generate nothing but emptiness. And one person in right alignment with divine will is more powerful than the entire organization combined. This realization broke something in the leadership, because if you can't be stopped and you can't be recruited, there's only one thing left: total exposure of what's been happening. You're here to bring people back to God, not through religion, through demonstration of power. You're here to speak truth that shatters deception wherever it hides. You're here to break generational curses that have enslaved families for decades. You're here to close demonic portals that have been open too long. You're here to liberate people trapped in systems designed to keep them bound. You're here to prove that righteousness isn't weakness, that faith isn't foolishness, that one voice speaking boldly can demolish years of carefully constructed lies, that purity carries more power than manipulation, that love conquers every form of fear. This is why stopping you was attempted so hard. Once you fully step into this calling, once you completely embrace this identity, once you operate in full authority without doubt, the entire operation gets threatened at its foundation. One spiritual leader walking in truth can dismantle decades of darkness, and you are that leader. You are that voice. You are that light. No amount of opposition can extinguish. Your presence changes atmospheres. Your words carry weight in heavenly realms. Your prayers move mountains in the physical world, and you're just beginning to understand the magnitude of what you carry. Monitoring is happening right now. Both sides are watching. Souls you're pulling from the grasp are being counted, and panic is setting in, because the more you rise, the more the fall happens. The more you speak, the more lies crumble. The more you demonstrate divine protection, the more people question the false security offered. You're about to see resources transfer from their hands to yours, not through your manipulation, through divine redistribution. Opportunities that were gate-kept are opening to you. Platforms that were controlled are becoming available. Favor that was monopolized is shifting in your direction. And there's nothing that can be done to stop it, because this is heaven's doing. The wealth accumulated through wickedness is about to fund righteous assignments. The influence gained through compromise is about to be redirected toward truth. The networks built for exploitation are about to become channels for liberation. God is repurposing everything built for purposes never intended. You'll start noticing this in practical ways. Job offers appearing from unexpected sources, financial blessings manifesting through unusual channels, doors opening that you didn't even knock on, people of influence taking interest in what you're doing without you seeking them out. This is divine setup, heaven positioning you in places you were tried to be kept from, and the beautiful part is, you won't have to compromise to access what's coming. You won't have to play political games. You won't have to join organizations. You won't have to sell out your values. The access is coming pure, clean, untainted by the corruption that marked their journey. The decree spoken at the beginning is manifesting right now. God spoke your name, and judgment fell like rain on everyone who touched you. The cult that tried to bind your soul is crumbling in real time. You can't be stopped. Not anymore, not ever again, because the moment you were called, everything shifted in your favor. The network of darkness that's been soul-trapping chosen vessels for generations is being exposed, it's being dismantled, it's being judged. The system that seemed invincible is falling apart. What you're witnessing isn't chaos, it's divine justice executing with precision. You weren't just protected through this war, you were positioned as the weapon that triggers downfall. Every attack proved your anointing. Every ritual that failed proved your covering. Every curse that boomeranged proved your bloodline protection. The verdict was already decided before the first move was made. You win, always, in every scenario, in every battle, in every realm. The poisoners are experiencing mysterious poisoning in their bodies. The ones who tried to cause accidents are in catastrophic wrecks. The practitioners who performed soul-binding rituals are trapped in consequences that cannot be escaped. Death by fire in the spirit realm is manifesting as complete consumption of everything built through wickedness. Reputations are burning, health is failing, finances are collapsing, relationships are being destroyed. Everything constructed on a foundation of darkness is going up in flames. This isn't karma taking years to balance. This is immediate divine intervention. When God moves in judgment, there's a precision human revenge could never achieve. The exact weapon they crafted becomes the tool of demolition. But you're ascending. You transformed from someone manipulation seemed possible on into a high priestess or high priest operating with authority that makes the entire system tremble. You're leveling up so fast your movements can't be tracked. You're accessing frequencies beyond reach. You're demonstrating power beyond explanation, and the more you rise, the harder the fall happens. The seesaw effect is accelerating. Your light is getting so bright, people can't look at you without being convicted or inspired. Your blessing is so obvious, even skeptics are questioning how you keep winning. Your protection is so visible, even enemies are backing down. You healed from what should have killed you. You survived what should have destroyed you. You're thriving in situations that should have broken you. Why? Because your DNA operates on frequencies beyond access. Your cellular structure is reinforced by ancestral codes beyond cracking. Your spiritual immune system turns curses into blessings automatically. God allowed the pit to be dug deeper. Heaven let evidence be gathered against the perpetrators. The angels documented every ritual, every curse, every wicked act, so when judgment fell, no one could claim injustice. The evidence is undeniable, the case is closed, the sentence is being executed. You're not just someone who survived, you're the catalyst that triggered this entire divine intervention. Your existence, your light, your refusal to be consumed activated a response from heaven, never anticipated. The assumption was made that a random person was being attacked. Someone marked before birth was touched. Someone covered by angelic armies. Someone whose ancestors fight battles from the other side. The righteous will shine like the sun. That's not future tense anymore. That's your present reality. You're shining right now. The light coming from your life is so intense, it exposes darkness everywhere you go. Your presence makes the wicked uncomfortable. Your continued blessing makes the compromised question their choices. The cult is falling. The wicked are being judged. Systems built on darkness are collapsing, and you are rising to heights never imagined possible, not because you're better than anyone, but because you chose better than most. Not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. Not because you never failed, but because you never quit. The harvest of seeds you planted in faith is manifesting in ways that prove God is real and His word never fails. Stand tall in this moment. Recognize what you're witnessing. Understand the magnitude of what's happening. This isn't just personal vindication. This is cosmic realignment. This is heaven declaring the age of wickedness prospering is over. This is the universe announcing righteousness will no longer be mocked without severe consequences. This is God Himself speaking judgment over those who touched what should have been left alone. And you, beloved chosen one, are at the center of this divine demonstration, not as victim, as victor, not as casualty, as conqueror, not as someone who barely made it, as someone who dominated completely. You can't be stopped because you were called before the foundation of the world. You can't be defeated because heaven's backing doesn't fail. You can't be destroyed because the protection around you is impenetrable. Nothing can change what was already decided about your future. Absolutely nothing. The decree has been spoken. The verdict is final. Judgment is here. You win. The opposition loses. And everyone watching is about to understand that touching someone marked by the Most High God was the biggest mistake ever made. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your vindication. And nothing that tried to stop you survived the encounter. You are exactly who heaven said you are. A chosen one, a spiritual warrior, a leader operating with divine authority that cannot be challenged, questioned, or stopped. The cult learned this the hard way. Now it's time for the world to learn it by watching you rise while everything that came against you burns to the ground.